The nightmare always began with the rain, a torrential downpour that blurred the city lights into a smear of neon grief. I would be back in the cage, the cold iron biting into my skin, the reek of stale beer and unwashed bodies thick in the air. A hand would reach for me, rough and calloused, and I would flinch, my throat closing up before a scream could form. Tonight, the scream came, a raw, ragged sound that tore me from the depths of sleep. My eyes flew open, not to the filth of the hollow, but to the soft, indirect lighting of a sprawling penthouse apartment. The rain was real, a furious drumming against the floor-to-ceiling windows that framed the glittering skyline of Crestwood Bay. I was tangled in silk sheets that smelled of sandalwood and clean linen, wearing a man's dress shirt that felt impossibly soft against my scarred skin. Nell, the voice was low, calm, a steady anchor in the storm raging both outside and within me. Sebastian Devereux was beside me in an instant, his large frame casting a protective shadow over me. He didn't touch me, not at first. He knew better. He simply sat on the edge of the bed, his presence a silent promise of safety. It was just a dream, he said, his gaze fixed on my face, searching. I nodded, my breath still coming in shuddering gasps. My hand instinctively went to my shoulder, tracing the faint, raised line of a scar I knew was there. His eyes followed the movement, a flicker of something dark and ancient passing through them. He reached out then, slowly, giving me every chance to pull away. His fingers, warm and steady, gently covered my hand. They can't hurt you anymore, Nell, he murmured, his voice a vow. I promise. I looked at this man, this powerful, enigmatic savior who had pulled me from the wreckage of my life. I looked at the city lights, the opulent room, the silk sheets. It had been 3 months since he found me. 3 months of slow, painful recovery, but he was wrong. They could still hurt me, because the reign of the Ashfords wasn't over, not until I had burned it to ashes myself. It had all started on my 18th birthday, a year ago. The Ashford estate was ablaze with light, a beacon of old money and influence on the cliffs overlooking Crestwood Bay. Hundreds of guests mingled on the manicured lawns, their laughter like the tinkling of expensive crystal. I stood on the grand staircase, dressed in a custom-made gala gown the color of a twilight sky. My fiancé, Brandon Adler, at my side. He was handsome, the heir to the Adler Hotel empire, and the man I had loved since I was a girl. You look perfect, Penelope, he whispered, his hand possessively on the small of my back. I smiled, but the smile didn't quite reach my eyes. The air was stretched taut, vibrating with a tension I couldn't name. My father, Warren Ashford, tapped a champagne flute for attention. Friends, family, he boomed, his voice full of pride. Tonight, we celebrate my daughter, Penelope, the future of the Ashford name. Then, my sister, Melody, stepped forward. She was the angel of the family, beautiful and beloved, with a smile that could charm angels and devils alike. Tonight, that smile was gone. Her face was streaked with tears, her own gown inexplicably torn at the shoulder. She fell to her knees in the center of the grand hall, her sobs echoing in the sudden, shocked silence. Penelope, please, just stop, she cried, her voice a fragile, broken thing. I'm begging you, don't let those men from the hollow keep harassing me. The room erupted in gasps. I never meant to get in your way, she continued, her voice rising with practiced despair. I would never, ever try to take Brandon from you. Just tell them to leave me alone. My blood ran cold. The hollow, I didn't even know what that was. My father's face turned a shade of mottled purple. He stormed towards me, his eyes blazing with a fury I had never seen before. You did this, he roared, his voice shaking the chandeliers. You hired gutter trash to threaten your own sister. No, Dad, it's not true, I cried, turning to Brandon for support. Brandon, you know me. But Brandon's face was a mask of cold disgust. He took a step away from me, as if I were contaminated. I only see what's in front of me. Penelope, he said, his voice like ice. And I see you've made your sister cry. My